Hello, everyone. Lian, I think you have to unmute first.
Thank you, Derek.
Yes.
Let's start from the beginning. Good evening, everyone. Apologies, sorry about that. Welcome to IQI Australia Friday Pod Talk. I'm Lee Yen. I'm your host this evening. Now, I hope everyone can hear me. We are broadcasting live from the City of Life, Perth in Western Australia. And thank you for joining us this evening. And yes, today we are going to continue to talk about Melbourne. If you notice that in the last couple of weeks or last 2 weeks, we've been talking about the Melbourne project. And today we are continue to talk about Melbourne, but this time it's a little bit different. We have a few more team members joining me to share their experience and their thoughts about this trip. Melbourne, yes. They are actually still managed to retain in the top 10 in the world most livable city this year, which is very exciting for us. Unfortunately, couple of the capital city, which is Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth. We were all in the top 10 last year, but this year they all have fallen into the 27th, 30th, and the 32nd ranking in the world most livable city. Yeah, so we dropped out from the top 10. So the result was released yesterday by Economic Intelligence Unit, and quite interestingly, one of the the index has quoted the slow lifting of COVID, the COVID restriction is one of the reasons why all these cities actually dropped out from the top 10. So yeah, but looking forward, now that our restriction has eased, and we hope that next year some of our capital city will be able to slowly make their way back to the top 10. So we are full of hope. Anyway, tonight we are not talking about the index, the global most livable city. If you are interested to find out about that, you can Google it. All the information is online. It's quite interesting to see how they actually judge a city, how they become most livable. I mean, to a lot of the local people, we feel that wherever we live is the best for us. Anyway, back to our topic for today. As you heard me mention last couple of weeks, couple of weeks ago, a group of IQI team member has visited Melbourne, and they will be joining me this evening. So if I can get my team member, putting them all slowly on to the screen. Yeah, and allow me to quickly introduce couple of our speaker or whatever you call them colleague tonight. So I have Nicole Pan with me this evening. I have Ceiling, have Benjamin Chin. You probably have seen a couple of his video and sharing about product project, his lifestyle, and things like that. And I have Derek here. And of course, I have our IQI director, Lily, with us this evening. Now, talking about this trip, it was a last minute trip that the company has decided to go. And even though, when you do a last minute plan, you expect to pay a premium price for not only airfare in terms of accommodation. And it has been a challenge for the two ladies in our office to put this trip together. So I would like to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to Winnie and Priscilla in our office to help to make this trip possible, because they have to check on the ticket basically on a daily basis, and the price can be a couple hundred dollars different each day, and the accommodation is a mission impossible to trying to fit everyone in. So they have done a great job, and then try to fit all the different small trip in, and visit into the short trip that they have has also been a challenge. So thanks, Vinny and Priscilla. Now, I know because of the last minute trip, we actually have to end up paying quite a big amount to have this trip happen, and the amount of money that's spent into this trip, it's almost a return trip to Japan. So I wonder, perhaps Lily, the director, who actually have decided last minute to invite the team and say, "Hey, let's go to Melbourne and have a look." And who want to come? The company will sponsor and bring you there. So, Lily, may I ask you, knowing that you're going to pay a premium price, the ticket, the accommodation, and everything, why have you decided to go to Melbourne? And everyone have to rush to decide in 1 week time. And I didn't get to go. Okay.
Because I purposely to arrange so that Lian cannot go.
Yeah, because I still have to look at it.
Anyway, thank you so much for Lian's, yeah, to ask the questions. And then besides I start, right, maybe I thank you also Eric, because Eric did give us a big hand on that, because Eric is basically, because my girls, right, have been searching online, right? Every trip is around 1,000 at that time. I almost, as a director, I almost want to give up already, to be honest, right? 1,000 per trip to Melbourne, right? We can actually go to Japan. I would
I know.
actually, personally, I would prefer to go to Hokkaido, but then it's a hard decision, to be honest. But we have that plan for a while.
Mm,
And because, how to say, like, because uh, we always want to witness the products before we sell, because we always have the philosophy. I'll talk about what our philosophy as an IQI. We want our investors, right, all diversify their investments. So you cannot put all your egg into one basket, which we all learn since kids. So that we always has a, like, we always encourage our clients, you have to be diversified in terms of the country, in terms of the states, and then even in the type of the product that you are going to invest. You have house, you have apartment, things like that. So if in even like looking at the property clocks, right, actually Melbourne is going down right now. So then you will ask me, like, why you think is a, why you still want people to invest into Melbourne's? Okay, because I can't deny it's because I keep looking at their rental vacancy. I start to see they pick up from 9%, now they actually drop to 2%. This is very encouraged, like, because you want to invest in some things, right, that you're going to rent out. That is important to me. And then, to be honest, we planned this for a while. And then that was actually I planned before the lockdown, I mean the border opened. But we wait for nearly 2 years for that. And then
mm,
finally, I realized one thing, just right before, we have Tuesday meeting, and then I say decide, okay, why not we just go to Melbourne, because I just realized the stamp duty, the 100% waive for stamp duty will be end by the end of this month. So it's not a big money, it's only 5%, but towards a normal investor like myself, okay, that is quite a big money, because spending like another 38,000 for something that you are not going to get benefits, right? If you have our options and you are ready, I don't want to spend that. That is why I say, if that is the case, and then my teams have been doing like UI leads, like Stealing, like Ben, they have been following up all the inquiry through UI platform, but we never witnessed, right? Like, how is Melbourne like? And then, you can't sell your clients, right, if you've never been there, you never touched the product, and you never seen that yourself. So I say, okay, it's expensive, I don't deny that we spend more than 10,000 for that trip. So we say we still go, just to see before we sell. That's all about it. Thanks, Lian.
good one. Yeah, yeah. I think I like what you said about going and see the project yourself. And like what you say, as the kind of like a philosophy of the company, we always want to do our due diligence, make sure, we just don't base on the catalog. I mean, if we know who is the builder, who's the developer, sometimes you have some mindset, but it's different when you go and actually inspect the product. So I think that's great. That so whatever product that we bring to our investor, it at least done a very strict due diligence check, and then yeah, then they will get a really good product. And now, Nicole, can I just ask you about the trip, because yes, I know you're very very busy lady, and before you go to the trip, I'm sure you have certain mindset or expectation before you go on. Do you mind share with us what were you thinking, or why did you go? And yeah.
Yeah, actually, this is a very, very last minute decision. I remember when Lily said, okay, Tuesday, let's go to Melbourne to have a look. I actually was like say no at the beginning because I'm working every day, and I actually it's a long weekend in WA, and I actually got a family trip planned already, to spend the weekend with my family. But end up I still choose to go with IQI because I think everyone want to join IQI now because I think no such company is so generous can sponsor us to go to see the real product. So yeah, so even my son after that he say he want to join IQI as well because he want to go to Melbourne next time. But yeah, so anyway, the reason that made me to go because like Lily and Leanne say, I want to see the real product. I don't want to just sell to my customer just by the catalog, or the online website, because this one everyone can Google, everyone can see it, but no one actually go to the place to see the real building, like how's the environment, how's the quality, and like everything that you see over there. So we like to go there to inspect ourselves before we actually bring it back to our client. So that is the most that is the
Important.
reason I want to go. Yeah, that is the most important reason. Yeah. And
Did you
of course,
enjoy yourself?
very enjoy lots of food, and it's and very impressive. All the building. The unique look of the building, the facility that compared to the one elsewhere. Because most of the IQI team member, we are actually investor ourselves as well. So we know what we need to look at. So yeah, no regret, to be honest. I will go again, Lily. Let's go to somewhere again soon.
Nicole, can I say I definitely sense a change in the way you talk about project when you come back, because we look at what we've seen here or what we know. Since the trip come back, the way you describe project is different. It's definitely have opened your mind. I don't know. That's just my impression. When you talk about the project, you do a lot of comparison now, and then you describe things differently. Yeah, so that's what I have noticed since you got back. So it must have been a very, very lovely experience. Yeah. And yeah, so thank you for sharing your thought with us. And Siling, may I ask, because I know you have actually managed, like you're one of the specialists that looking after our inquiry from Melbourne, for Melbourne. And not just that, I know you also do a bit of a Sydney and Brisbane. And having had so many inquiry for Melbourne with this trip, do you have different expectation or mindset that you want to share with us, or you can share with us?
Yes, because I in charge of more international inquiry, so mainly is Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. So I always wonder why when they first they will ask Sydney, but then Sydney is too expensive. Then the second choice is Melbourne. But then I say, oh, still their budget sometimes is not there. I say, oh, can you think of Queensland or think of Western Australia? They say no, only Melbourne. I say why? It's for investment. Everywhere you can invest, right? Or for all unless it's on living lah. They say this is a difficult question to answer. I say why? Say this is they're not sure is different kind of investment in the way that I say investment is investment lah. You read to the tenant. They say no, this is for my children's education. So I said, oh, okay, it's different kind of investment. Then I said, why? Queensland also got, the good university, the University of Queensland, and Western Australia also. Adelaide also quite famous for the university, but why Melbourne? So they tell me, oh, you don't know Melbourne, how many university and all this is all in the CBD. I said, is it? Then I said, only start to Google and check myself. Having to say that, we only see on the map, and I do not have the connection that how close it is. When you see the map, oh, okay, you take the train or whatever, or in the walking distance. I do not have the connection. So actually, I always want to go. I always go. I say, never mind, I just do my own trip. But at these 2 years, of course, it's COVID. We cannot go. But again, is if I go by myself, it's no fun. It's no fun, and I don't know what to look at. So this is really when Lily mentioned that we go Melbourne. without the second thought, I just arrange my schedule. I said yes. That afternoon immediately said I go. Irregardless, whatever I said I go. Even I know it will be expensive, and I actually be paid to pay myself. But it really is so good that sponsor a trip. That really I really appreciate that. So
Yeah, I
then
think at that time the company hasn't decided, because we have to look at how many people and things like that. Yeah, so good on you for taking that step, even knowing
I just
that
asked how much accommodation. I just go because I know this is a very good chance. Really, if I go by myself, I will not see so many. And also because we don't have chance to connect to the developer to see their building. So it's really it's a good chance. I don't want to miss. So I just go. And yes, it's very different. And when we walk around at the city, because we just by walking distance go to see those apartments. And because I go there is already a mindset that I want to check on this university, and I didn't realize actually it's so near. It really is so near, because actually before I go, I did a study also because the client teach me. They say you don't know so many university in Melbourne, and that is in CBD and is public university. There are 9 public university, 8 have the campus in the city, and I actually do a walkabout. Of course, it's like one university walk to the other is about 2 hours something. I just do the map. And then I realized that it is really so close, Then I really realized no wonder the inquiry said for education, they all want to go Melbourne. Then I have the connection. Really, if I don't go, I don't see because when we walk around, I still realize, this is a campus. This is a largest campus, and this is IMIT. I didn't realize when I look at the map and I just talk. So it's very, very different. It's very different. Yeah. So yeah, it's so blessing that I made the decision to go this time. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
And
so good to me.
also, when I walk around, also see there are 3 art gallery, the main one, and then the state one, and then the not so big ones, all in the within the walking distance near the train station also. Yeah, it is really education hub.
It's nice that how you take your inquiry or the question that your client gave to you very seriously and want to actually go experience and problem solve with them. They told you that there's a lot of university. Sometimes we just go, yeah, but we never really pay attention on those questions. But sound like Shilin, you actually put your heart and blood in that. So actually when you go there, you could have just gone and have a good property tour, look at the building, look at the environment, experience Melbourne life. But you have those questions that your prospect, your client that asks, and you went and investigate all the uni. Yeah, and having so many uni in the city as well, that means they have a lot more options. So if they decided to come, and if one uni is not, that they can't get into the certain uni that they want, there's other option as well that they can choose from. Do you think? Yeah. Because there's so many
Actually, when I checked the 8 public university in CBD, actually there are some other also private one. That's not like it's also the private one, the small one. Yeah. But the main focus is because of course the state one is better, and then public one is better. So even that is I was surprised 8 university have the campus in CBD compared to other city which is not so in the center. Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
also
probably
sorry.
You go.
Those parent inquiries they also teach me one thing. I said, why you must CBD, inquiry to the property in CBD. He said when they accompany their children to study, some actually is very young, in high school only. But they look at long term because the high school one is because the transport is so convenient, you can just travel. But in the future is the university, and also after graduate, they can still work in the CBD. And the some parents actually say, I want to work part-time in CBD also, because you accompany the children there and then they just want to earn some income. So living in Melbourne CBD is really convenient, more work opportunity for them. Yeah. This is what they told me. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
accessible for the parents.
and then when we are there, everywhere is a cafe and all this. The parent can just work there.
Yeah. Simple job, good money. Yeah. And then we need people, actually, we really need people coming to work as a part-time or in the hospitality as well, at the moment, isn't it? And I think you have make a really good point that reminded me about invest early on, because you said some of your inquiry, their children are still very young in like primary school or just enter into the high school. They are not even at uni yet, but yet they are started to plan now, which reminded me about the STEM duty. Not just that, the availability of new development in the future in the CBD. Remember the last 2 weeks when we talked to the developer rep, and they talk about in the future there's not going to have a lot of new development in the CBD due to construction costs getting too high. There's not many land available, and the ratio has changed. So less development will be built, and of course less unit, because they can't build as big anymore. So if they don't get into the CBD now, as a foreign investor, you must buy brand new apartments and brand new properties. So if you miss out, you won't be able to buy. You got to rent. So I think, Shilling, when you
Yeah.
said those clients plan ahead, they're very smart. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
thinking 10 years ahead. Yeah, just
Yeah.
reassure and tell them that whatever they're
Yeah.
thinking is
Right.
good.
Yeah. Some just go to do that year 7, just year
Yeah,
7. Yeah. I'm surprised.
yeah. Yeah, thank you for sharing your thought with us. Our audience out there, if you have any question about, Melbourne or anything that you want to find out from our audience here, please leave us a message on the chat room, whichever chat room that you're on at the moment. If I miss it, yes, I hope our team member will pick it up and send it to the main chat room or main page that I have, so I can share the question with our team here. If not, we will get in touch with you. Yeah, whether want to know about lifestyle, schooling, even though we are not a specialist in migration, education, but we have connection that we can link you up. So anything that you want to find out about Australia, Melbourne, Perth, wherever, get in touch with us. Our contact detail is at the bottom. Now, talking about experience, I know one of our team member have got a very exciting experience when he was in Melbourne. Ben.
Yes.
While you were there, I saw the team has to took a video and send it to us. They're kind of jealous and scared at the same time. You were on your super scooter rolling around not Perth CBD, Melbourne CBD. Yeah.
Yep.
Why have you decided to go on that?
Okay, so basically, I think it's actually related with what we have done throughout the days. Even on the first day, we thought we are going through some slow and easy, just want to go and travel. We have never thought of working at all. But on our first day of our journey, when we arrive, we walk all the way. So when we do all the Google search, it's like, we go from one place to another place, 10 minutes, 50. That's very near. Let's just walk. Okay. So imagine all of us wearing a backpack, and then I myself, I have camera bag, I have my own backpack. So I literally have 2 bags. So on the first day itself, we have walked, I think, probably 5 or 6 kilometers of the way. So we are like, oh my goodness. I thought it's very near, right? I mean, we walk all the way. It's near, it's walkable, but when you have so many gear on your body and everything, and my own weight some more, right? So it's really tiring, yeah. So that's why on the second day, I think even though we are quite tired on the first day, second day, I think I have some sort of jet lag. So that's why I wake up super early. So I decided to explore the CBD even more. So what I do is I walk out my hotel, I go to the South Bank, check out our projects, everything. And then from South Bank, I walk to the Spencer Street in another projects. And when I walk, I'm like, there's so many scooters around the roadside. Are they not scared of being stolen or whatever? But seems like someone are activating the scooter. So I'm like, why not I try as well? Since, to be honest, I wanted to buy one e-scooter as well back in Perth. So it's actually a very good time for me to test up whether or not the scooter can help my weight. This is something that I'm very concerned.
Try to balance.
Every time they say the scooter you can it can take up to 150 and 120 kilos. So you see, I'm not sure whether the scooter can handle my weight or not. So I tried it. So I actually, when I explored the apps and everything, I know, oh, you can actually pay a 3-day pass. And a 3-day pass that will cost you $25. And every day he will give you 90 minutes to use the e-scooter. And the good thing about this e-scooter in the CBD is that you can use it, and when you don't want to use it, just put on the roadside as well. But I mean, of course, the roadside cannot be the rod lah, huh? You cannot put on the rod. So that's a good thing. So I think generally in Perth CBD, I'll talk a little bit about the transportation. I think CBD transportation Melbourne, correct. Melbourne CBD transportation is quite matured in a way. I think there are tram inside. They also have train. So generally in Melbourne CBD, not Perth, sorry. I always say about Perth, right? So in Melbourne CBD.
It's close to our heartland, very close to our heart.
I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, I love Perth so much. Anyway, Melbourne CBD, there's a free tram zone inside the CBD. So when we went there the first time, we never thought we have to pay, or we never thought we don't have to pay. So when we go up to the tram, we never know where do we pay or where we don't pay. So we are very worried in a way. When we go into the tram, on the next stop, we are like rushing out. Let's go out. If not, they will catch us. So this is something that we experience. So it's actually a funny thing that I think if you know that Melbourne CBD, you don't need to pay for anything when you go up the tram. Okay, so while you have to pay for the train, so if you see my background, this is actually the Flinders station where you can go to a few places, and I think this is the station that can bring us to Glen Beverly where we went as well. So generally, the public transport in Melbourne is actually very convenient, and I think it doesn't really matter where you stay at the end of the day. But if you really want convenient, of course CBD is the best anyway. But if you want to travel to, or you want to stay in other suburbs, I think the suburb that we explore in Glen Beverly is actually quite good, especially the roast duck that we eat there is actually very nice.
Is that the one that you guys ate like 3 times?
No.
So I think really a good experience.
Talking about food, Lily suddenly.
So generally, the experience is actually, other than the blister that we have on our food, other than that, with the e-scooter, I think we can explore the whole CBD as well. And then the experience is actually very good with the team member. Like when you're tired, someone will push you at the back. That's for sure.
Catch up, right?
Yeah. You don't want to walk, then you stay here. We walk, then you don't know how to go back home. So this is something, some sort of motivation that we have all the time. Yeah.
Sounding so fun. So it sounds like a good experience. With the e-scooter, it's a big time to get one, right?
I think I should really invest one when the petrol price now is so expensive, right? And maybe we can actually do some side income using scooter as well. I actually did a delivery for a team member as well. I deliver donut for them, and not donut, a croissant, the loon croissant. The one that you have to queue up to buy one. I even queue up and then deliver to our colleague, right? So I think the e-scooter is really convenient.
Yeah, they'll give you their love, so don't worry.
Since I meant talk about the foods, right? Because you see, right, everywhere is so packed. Because when you mentioned about the ducks, right, that is one thing I want to like, just to emphasize. Everywhere we go, every restaurant, almost every restaurant, right? Correct me, Tim, if I'm wrong. We need to queue. Okay, and then I never go to a restaurant. I still remember the first restaurant Lina brought me, because so much she missed that restaurant. And we went to this in Chinatown. As soon as you walk in, right, the lady run to you and say, I give you only 1 hour. You have to finish your food within 1 hour. This is not happening in Perth. So then I was talking with the next door, the next tables around. We were chit chat, like see how, what, because they are quite I mean, they're quite interested with us, like say, oh, you girls from Perth. And then we will start to chit chat. Then I start to ask them, oh, is it always like that packed? Because the restaurant is full, yeah. It's just a normal, ordinary restaurant, more than, I think, close to 30 years, maybe. And then it's not a fancy new restaurant. It's a very old restaurant. And then he says, right, oh, no, it is not the case because we are not only 100% occupied yet, because only like 40 to 50% occupied in the Melbourne CBD, right?
Like people
Still
are not
so
back
many
to the
people,
city yet.
yeah, not even come back to the CBD yet, but already I can see they are very, very packed. And everywhere we go to eat, right, it's more or less we need to queue and wait for the wait for the table. Yeah, I think the only place that we didn't queue is the bubble tea, yeah, because it's so many bubble tea there. And then there is
Very
one we don't need to
competitive.
queue. Me and Nicole so excited. We went to this bubble tea for twice. Yeah.
Bubble tea. Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought up that point about trying to get a table in a restaurant, because the world most livable city index, actually one of the things that they talk about is why Melbourne actually gone back to the top 10. One of the reason is economically, how they actually bounce back so quickly from the pandemic. Yeah. So one of the things they mentioned is, restaurant is so hard to get in. You have to book, and holiday accommodation is really hard to get in as well. It's just to show that how resilient is Melbourne CBD, and they just bounce back so quickly after the pandemic. I think during the pandemic, when they closed down, when the overseas students are not able to come back, because like what Xiu Ling has shared with us, there's a lot of unis, a lot of education opportunity. When we shut our country, shut our city, they can't come back in. That's why suddenly we see a lot of a huge drop on in terms of rental and everything. But within less than a year, they pick up. They're very resilient, and they managed to stay in the top 10. So big congratulations to Melbourne, of course. Back to what you just mentioned, Ben, about the public transport, how it is so mature in the CBD, and it almost sounds like car ownership is not necessary.
Generally, I think, car ownership, people who stay in CBD, that's what I think, is that you don't really need a car in the CBD. You can literally walk to anywhere, or you can just tram to anywhere, or you can just e-scooter to anywhere. So, so I think generally, if you count by a year, how often that you will need to go other suburbs or go further away, probably 1 year you're going out for like, I would say 4 or 5 times. Or that's the max, right? Or during the school holiday, which is also 3 to 4 times. So, and the parking here generally is more expensive than Perth as well. So, and the rental for car park even is actually very expensive as well. And not mentioning the toll system that they have, you have to pay for the toll, everything. So I would say it might be cheaper to not own a car. And if you really need a car, probably rent a car. And in long run, it's probably cheaper in that way as well. So I think even the house in apartments, it's not normal to have car park. And if you want a car park, you have to buy a car park. So that's why I think generally you don't really need a car park, to be honest. We walk, we can scoot everything. We even use train to somewhere that is 30 kilometers from us on the same day. So I don't see the needs in getting a car in Melbourne, to be honest. Yeah.
It's more green to the environment as well, isn't it? Less car usage.
Definitely. Yeah.
And in terms of using Uber, Didi, taxi, they're all very convenient, I suppose.
They are very convenient. So I would say we get a ride. The longest that the wait time that we have, even the city is really jammed. That time is probably approximately 10 minutes. Maybe that's the longest wait that we have. Other than that, because the reason why we always get Didi that time, not because of our bliss on the food or whatever, it's because of raining, we want to walk one. Especially Derek like to walk a lot. So, but we don't want to walk is because it's raining and it's really windy. All the girls, right? We have to take care of them. So
Ben has to do that again, huh?
That's
We're gonna give you more love now.
Yeah, yeah.
Good one. Yeah, because the one thing that I did notice that there isn't car park is not common with a lot of the apartment buying there. We're so used to whatever apartment that we buy come with the car bay. So when we look at the Melbourne project, it's like, hey, no car bay. Then it makes sense. If everything is so convenient, 10-minute waiting for Didi. By the time we find a parking, for example, if you own a car, it's probably about 15 minutes. So yeah, thank you so much for that sharing with us, Ben. And you mentioned about walking. And yes, Derek loves to walk. I know why he likes to walk because he likes to take beautiful photos and video. And yeah, so Derek has produced the most beautiful video, and I have seen a lot of the nice photo that he has. So Derek, if you don't mind, share with us what impressed you the most when you walk around Melbourne.
Yes, actually, I am not a CBD person, but I really enjoy walking in the Melbourne CBD because there's
Mm,
a lot of heritage building in there. Just like I
mm,
enjoy go to Fremantle in Perth because there's a lot of heritage building in Fremantle over 200 years, and then this is exactly what happened in Melbourne CBD. There are a lot of modern building, excellent architect building, and also a lot of heritage building as well. There's a perfect combination of the mixture between the old and the new, and
mm,
also the size of the Melbourne CBD is really big compared with the Perth. And like Melbourne population is 5 million, Perth population is 2 million, but it's like 2.5 times more than Perth. But actually, the Melbourne CBD, the size and everything is much larger than 2.5 times compared with the Perth. I would say like Melbourne CBD is like combination with Chinatown and Fremantle and Perth CBD all combined together. That's why it's
yeah,
really enjoy a lot of things to see, and then walking around is really enjoy in
mm,
Melbourne CBD. And the modern building, and they have excellent architect design. Is really, no matter you look at the heritage and the new building, I just feel really enjoy, and just like our one of the project premium towers is
mm,
the design is so nice, and then I always think you can design whatever you want, but
mm,
it's subject to are you going to build it.
mm,
It's like the developer, do they have the guts to build this building, the shape like this?
mm,
And I think this is like a world-class architect. One of the
mm,
building is iconic building in the world and also in the Melbourne as well. Sometimes I think you put the exact building, no matter in Hong Kong, it definitely become an iconic building in Hong Kong. You put it
mm,
to even London or KL or Singapore, this building will become the iconic building in that city. That is called world
mm,
class. And then there's a lot of world class building in Melbourne. It's really enjoy. That's why quite impressed. And then this is why 8 years ago when we promote Perth to Hong Kong people, I remember they always ask me, is this project in CBD? Because they always in before a lot of Hong Kong people they only focus on Melbourne. This is my of course I know when you experience to feel you understand more, you feel different like what Siling say, what Nicole say as well. But
mm,
it's really impressed me, and also it's a lot of people in the city.
mm,
And
mm,
then even though like some local people maybe they shouldn't go to the city, I got some friends in Melbourne as well. But
mm.
in terms of the crowd of people, and then is like more energy in the city. It's really good experience. And then yeah. I don't mind to go there again and really enjoy. Hopefully, maybe we go there soon next time. Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you will just go there again. Sounds like you might want to move there.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I don't mind. It's good. Yeah, like I don't have to get the car bay to just like because I it's really common in Hong Kong. We don't have the car bay.
Yeah.
This is just like a mini size of the Hong Kong. Yeah,
Mm, mm,
it's not because you can't afford. It's because it's more convenient to take public transport and more
mm,
time consume as well. Like
mm,
you find a parking maybe just like what you say. You find a parking 15 minutes. Maybe you already
mm,
catch a tram from the Flinders Station, like the background of the band, all the way to
mm.
Queen Victoria Market already. This
Yeah.
is so convenient, and every 2 minutes per 2 minutes you get a tram and you go there. It is
Mm,
it is really good experience in Melbourne CBD.
It's about the lifestyle as well, isn't it? Because when you don't spend a lot of time in the traffic, say for example, if like us, a lot of I mean, I'm not just saying like the people that live far away from the city to go into the city to attend events, the time that you spend on the transport is probably you know, taken up half of your life. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. So if the lifestyle, and I know that there is a lot of great events happening in Melbourne almost on a weekly basis. Yeah. So I think people live there
That's all
not
right.
only, yeah, not only the experience,
The,
you know, convenience, but every week they got something to do. They get to see a lot of gallery, lots of exhibition and sport events. Do you feel that when you're actually in Melbourne? Do you hear about
definitely.
talking about things?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. If you don't
Yeah,
mind, I just
definitely.
uh,
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Jump
just
in,
add
Lily.
one point because when we check ins, right, on that particular hotels that we stay during, I mean,
Mm,
during our trips, right, I tried to get one more room, but was fully occupied, 100% occupancy,
yeah.
because this is not common in Perth where you have 100% vacancy. Then I tried to talk to the front desk, right? I says, I pay you extra. No, it's not nothing to do with the money. They rarely not even have one room extra. So
Wow.
100% occupied. And
Full
then I
profit.
asked them
Mm,
what happened because they said there is one boxing, right? And then there is a concert. That's why
mm,
that's why I don't know where these people come from. It's just like full because if you say right, all these occupancies is because of the long weekend. I can understand, but they don't have long weekend now, but they were full on the Saturday when we were there, so I can't even get an extra room. Yeah, so
mm,
Derek is I mean Lian is right. There is so many event. That's why the
mm.
city is so different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I have friends live in Melbourne, and sometimes I see they put the photos what they you know what they did on the weekend. It's always different gallery that they went to visit, different concert that they go to. So sounds very exciting, and I think Perth are getting few more things coming through as well. So hopefully for the second half of the year and next year, you we will see lots more things happening here. Now that we're slowly easing up. Um, Yes. Now, after hearing all your sharing, I can now sort of understand why some of you are contemplating or even have actually moving or proceeding to expanding your portfolio into Melbourne. I mean, personally, I don't have a portfolio in Melbourne yet. It sounds great, but I I don't have money yet. So I know this is confidential. Feel free to share if you would like to, but I know one person doesn't mind that I asked her on you know, live, and then she's laughing there already. So Lily, I thought you bought a birthday present.
Yeah, you can see already how much Derek love Melbourne.
Yeah,
I still
I
owe
also
him
love
a
Melbourne.
birthday present for his 50 years old birthday. So then so much he loved Melbourne. Then I says, right, instead of buying him because actually I promised him I will buy him a study course, okay, education course. But then he always have a reason he never register that, okay. Keep postponing. So during the trips, right, to be honest, right, we do what we actually breach, okay. So we teach people diversify the portfolio, don't
Mm,
put the one egg, I mean every egg into one basket. So we
yeah.
practice the same to ourselves. So
Mhm,
me myself, right, I have property everywhere, so in every different country as well. I always have a dream when I get older I can travel in every country or every state, and then I
mm,
stay, let's say, half year in Brisbane, half year in Melbourne, half year in Brisbane, and no, Adelaide, and maybe half year in Tasmania, things like that.
mm.
And then
Can I
every
rent your
long,
winter garden?
sorry,
Can I rent
you
your
want
winter garden? That if it's like the third bedroom.
Oh, don't worry, I buy two bedroom this time. But anyway, so that was my dream. So but I
Mm,
missed out one because the off the plan didn't go ahead. So that's why I always feel missing out Melbourne because
mm,
this is like in my maps, right? That is one of the states that I want to have one property.
yeah.
So when the chance come, of course, Derek birthday, and then but I just told him right he's going to pay. Then he said he will give it back to me now. Okay. So he reject my present. But anyway, so to be honest, I still emotionally to come up with these decisions, because when I look at the building, in terms of the locations, in terms of the quality, I love their winter gardens, because how smart they use the winter garden. You close the blind, you become another bedroom. I love the idea. I don't have the balcony I need to clean. Then I look at the amenity. Can you imagine? They got matchak room, they got karaoke. They almost want to sing there, but I pull them out from the karaoke room. So all these facilities, right? To be honest, if you move back to Perth, right, the strata fee will be very heavy. Okay, because the maintenance will be there. But because they have all these units, right? They're actually like, when you split into every single units, right? The strata fee is not high at all. So that is quite impressed me, to be honest. So I emotionally to the location, to the quality, to the strata fee amenity, and most important thing, I am enjoying the discounts, okay? Because there is a 5% discount from the developer. There is a rebate for the stamp duty. I was calculate 10%, not too bad, It's not saying it's a big money, but if you can save that 10%, why not? That's why I say, and since Derek reject my present, I decide to keep it for myself now. So yeah, for my next year birthday. Yeah, but anyway. So that is how I make up my decisions and go ahead with that. And then because I always tell my teams, right, because I buy into a product because I believe in that first. So next time when you have, because you will see, right, this is not only me, I think the whole team does that, because you do believe what you are doing, and then you also, you do what you preach, okay? Because that's why a lot of you buy into our own project. That's why next time when you have a salesman come to you and try to sell you something, maybe you ask him or her, did you buy yourself? If that is that good, I think I can prove now and I can say it loud. Yes, I believe that. That's why I bought it. Yeah.
Good one. Yeah. So we do what we preach, and if we have test drive the project, it should be okay. I wouldn't say. I mean, there is no perfect project, to be honest. Everyone know about that, but if we confidence enough to put our own investment money into it, it is good enough. Remember, there's no perfect. And talking about the karaoke room, I remember seeing a video that Nicole almost want to hog the microphone. Don't want to let it go. Nicole, what do you think of the facilities there? I heard that you love it.
The facility is actually best of the best, because I remember like 3 years ago, before COVID, IQI also took us to Bangkok to have a look. At that time, I was very amazed by the facility in the Bangkok building. But I mean, of course, in Bangkok, the material and labor is cheaper. So I don't feel strange they can make such a good facility. But after I seen the one that in Melbourne, actually is nothing can compare, because the one in Melbourne, they have the mahjong room, like Lily said, they have the karaoke, and they even have table tennis, swimming pool, sauna, steam, and then the gym is actually bigger than my house. The yoga room is bigger than my house as well. So I feel that if I have an apartment over there, I don't need a car, because I wouldn't want to go out. I will stay in my apartment for the whole day, to be honest.
So much entertainment. You can ask your friend to come over as well. Yeah, you don't need to.
Better quality karaoke than the karaoke in Perth too,
Oh, don't say that. Yeah, but I have seen those photo and the video that you guys sent through, and those facilities really amazing. It's not just facility, the design, the technology that they put in. I think the main thing would be the design. It just looked grand, really, really grand. Yeah.
And the facility not only one level, it can up to 3 level as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you guys were there, it doesn't look too packed as well, because there's so many space and so many options. You wouldn't find that people kind of jam into the one little swimming pool, because they have so many different options, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant sharing. Yeah, I know. Talking about the karaoke room, I just have to think about you, Nicole. Yeah. Now, I'm aware of the time is close to the closing, close to the 9 o'clock. Is there anything else any of you would like to sort of discuss or share with our audience this evening? Feel free to add in anything. So we all good? Feel free to unmute if you want to share one last thing. All good? Yeah. One last quick question. The favorite food, one things that you really impressed with, like just one single food. Don't say too much, all right? Just one food that you really
duck.
like. Peking duck. Good one. Anyone? Next. What really impressed you? Yeah, Nicole?
Croissant.
The croissant?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uncle Tetsu.
Uncle
Uh-huh.
Tetsu. Yeah, we haven't got Uncle Tetsu yet. Yes, Lily.
I think I'm quite impressed with I can't remember the name. You still remember the Taiwanese restaurant? No, the cafe we went with the tea, with the very the roast shaped dessert, and then with
Oh, that one's in Richmond. Yeah.
yeah. What is the name for that? I can't remember. The dessert that we have. I think that is very special.
What was it,
after what do you call
It's
that?
La Fantasy.
Yeah, because after our dessert before the lunch, right? Because can you imagine we were so like, I don't know why we are so hungry. We have dessert first and then we go for lunch. And actually I talked to the owner, and I invite him. I say maybe you should consider come over to Perth. So he said, yeah, we'll think of it. But he just opened the second store. So I think it will be a good one, because sometimes when you see the dessert is so beautiful, it doesn't taste good. But surprisingly, it looks beautiful and it tastes good. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, Selling? You got something that you want to say about food?
Yeah, so same as Lily, the dessert, because I like to eat dessert. So yeah, my daughter brought me one. Is so much variety, and it's a fusion. It's mixed with because personally I don't like quite sweet, but that is good because normally the Western dessert is more sweet, right? But she brought me to a Malaysian one, but they got put in the fusion. It's really good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, Derek,
Coffee. Coffee is nice. Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Coffee is
Everyone
nice.
talks about
Yeah.
coffee.
I only drink long black, and I taste different long black and anywhere when I went there, and the taste is quite. It's really nice. And also Peking duck is also nice, man. It's a good choice. Yeah. we have Peking duck twice in the trip in only 4 days.
Good one. Sounds really nice.
We don't even have twice per year in Perth. Then we have that. When Ben says, right, we do a lot of walking, right? I remember, right, on the first day, right, Saturdays, right, at 9 o'clock in the early mornings, right, the step that I go through, right, is equivalent to the whole day I have in Perth. 9
So that's
o'clock in
okay
the
that
morning.
you can keep eating. Don't have to worry about the weight. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for sharing your experience and your thoughts about Melbourne with us. And I hope all our audience have enjoyed, listened to what other people's point of view, because it will be quite different if you live there for a long time or if you have just been there for a short time. And yeah, because we see things differently. And I have looked through the main chat room that I have. We don't have any question, but yes, everyone sounded quite excited about the trip that you guys have. I think the next property tour, we probably will have the whole team there. I hope. So yeah, thanks you once again, everyone out there, our audience. Thank you for your time and joining us this evening. We would like to end our show with a video that done by Ben. Ben, is there anything that you want to share with us before we put the video up? No, you're all good? Okay. Yep. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. If I can get Chris to put up our the video, and then we'll end the evening with the lovely video memory for you guys, not me. I can only watch. Thank you. Oh, yes.